Like many Western countries that have amassed a significant Muslim population in the last 20 years, France has wrestled with the complexities of reconciling its Western secular values with the realities of a multicultural population. Well, I've come here today to Paris, where we're going to explore some of the city's most Muslim areas and try and get a sense of what life is like for the people who live there. Join me. So we're going to start this tour off by travelling to La Goutte d'Or, which is an area in central Paris that has a very large Muslim population. Specifically, a lot of the Muslim population is made up of immigrants that have come from mainly Algeria, but also Morocco and Tunisia. So we've just come here to the metro, just outside the Eiffel Tower here, and we're just going to get on it and head over to Goutte d'Or. Let's go. So what I love about the Paris metro is just the little things. Little things that are a bit different from the London Underground, for example. Like over here, you'll just see the ticket machines are really quite extraordinary here in Paris. Check them out. Yeah, really quite a weird way to organise them. But yeah, anyway, the train's just down here. Let's go check it out. So an interesting thing about a lot of the Muslims that live in Paris is they tend to come from places that are specifically French, like former French colonies, like Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia. They're the biggest places where most of the Muslim immigrants come from, which is very different from the UK. You know, obviously we do get a lot of immigrants from former colonies, but we also tend to get Muslim immigrants just from anywhere, from any country, you know. So it's going to be interesting to compare, like, even though there is obviously a lot of similarities between the Muslim community here and in the UK, there are certain little differences. I've got a singer over here. Doesn't look very happy with me filming her, but yeah. Anyway. Right, there we go. That was the Paris metro. Now let's head out onto the street and see what Paris's most Islamic area is like. Very interested. Right, so here we go. Let's compare it to places we've seen in the UK. Tower Hamlets, Savile Town, Whitechapel. This is Islamic Paris. I think we're still going to walk a couple of streets to find La Goutte d'Or. Wow, here we go. Wow, this is really interesting. It's also boarded off, but you can just see some old blocks around there. I wonder what they're for back in the day. Obviously all boarded off now. You can just see it's sort of filled with graffiti, these walls over here. This is a bit more like it, you know. It's a bit more sort of grungy and cool. This is what I'm after, you know. I'm a gritty travel vlogger. We need this kind of stuff. Wow, okay. This is gonna be really interesting actually. Wow. You can just see that there is, yeah, very strong Islamic presence here. A lot of guys wearing like traditional Muslim clothes and stuff like that. Bonjour. Interesting. And here we've got the what looks like the mosque, Institut de Culture de l'Islam. That's very interesting. People are sort of queuing up for something. Pardon, monsieur. Pourquoi c'est une file ici?
Le mosquée, oui.
Le mosquée, c'est the prayer.
Voilà.
Oh, okay, nice. Oh, merci. Interesting. So it looks like at the moment it's the prayer time at the mosque. And you just see behind me, everyone's kind of going in to do the prayer. Quoi?
Tu fais quoi pour filmer quoi?
On filme de YouTube.
Ah, le YouTube.
Oui,
okay.
oui. Je m'appelle Yesman.
Ah oui.
Enchanté.
Hello.
Yeah, so you can just see they're coming out. I think the prayer's just happened literally. So yeah, everyone's just coming out of the prayer. Obviously, as we all know, in Islam you sort of pray 5 times a day. I think they've just had the midday prayer. It's about midday now. And yeah, as you can see, very active Muslim community here. Well, it really is fascinating to see such a large congregation of people, you know, practicing their religion here. You know, it's very interesting. Obviously, we've got a lot of questions in the UK about how we've become kind of this very atheist country, and there's the same questions are being asked in France as well. And you can sort of see when you have communities that do have very strong values, sort of strong religious practices. You can see how many in the West, many Westerners sort of look up to that and almost admire it, you know, and see that it's something that we're missing in our society. So over here we've just got a little clothes shop. We're going to see if we can have a look inside. So you can just see over here we've got some various sort of clothes up here. Quoi? En française. Non, je fais une vidéo de Goutte.
Comme toi, tu es TikToker.
Oh, YouTuber. YouTuber, oui. Tu habites ici? C'est comment la vie ici?
La vie ici?
Oui.
Voilà, c'est la
Oui, c'est beau. Les
gens voilà, il y a la police.
Quoi?
États-Unis. Parce que tu parles anglais.
Oh,
You anglophone.
oui, anglais.
Ok.
Oui. Enchanté.
Enchanté. Yes.
Au revoir.
Merci.
There you go. So that's just an interesting interaction there in this clothes shop. You see the locals seem pretty nice, pretty friendly, pretty willing to be on camera, which is good. So yeah, let's keep going and find out what else we can see. I'd like to have a look inside that mosque, maybe when it gets a little less busy, see if we can go around with a camera. So you see, obviously there is still a lot of kind of French culture here. Just got a place over here that's called La Française. This kind of traditional little kiosk where you can maybe get coffee or something. Let's have a look inside, maybe we'll be allowed to take a little film. Okay, it's brilliant, so I've just been there inside this little place. Je peux voir le menu de quelque chose? Café en café? Merci. Alright, so we've just been allowed inside to film this very cool little cafe. The guy doesn't want to be filmed, but he's very kindly allowed me just to take a little seat and have a look at this little kiosk inside La Goutte. Yeah, it's very exciting. You guys can see over here, it's just some really cool little stuff. Some old sort of photos from some French film. And just over here, you can just see, you can do some betting, you know, on the horses maybe, or the lottery. Very cool. Alright, I've just got a very nice espresso here in this cafe. It's very interesting. I feel like in the UK we don't do espressos very well. Like I always think when I come to a continental country, the espressos are much nicer. So yeah, let's just see what it's like. Yeah, it's so nice. Again, something that I just really love about, you know, the continents as opposed to in the UK. Always bang on about this, but you just always get a little glass of water with an espresso. You know, there's a little attention to detail to things like that I just really love. You know, it's just a small, presumably fairly cheap place, But even there, they take the care to give you a little free glass of water, you know. Imagine going into a Cafe Nero or a Pret or something and expecting a free glass of water with your with an espresso. It just wouldn't happen. You'd be laughed out of the coffee shop. But here, it's just a big part of the culture to kind of, yeah, just take care of the little things. And, you know, after a espresso, you're of course going to be a bit dehydrated. So a nice glass of water just to sort of hydrate the system is you know, quite important. Okay, well, it was a very nice place, but unfortunately they didn't have any I can't pay without cash. Like they don't have any card machines there. So I'm just going to walk to a nearby bank and yeah, hopefully get some cash out from there. So just walking across this bridge here, and this is really quite exciting. It's really like a cool insight into kind of very little visited part of the city by tourists. You know, I mean, no one here is a tourist. This is completely just the real Parisian experience. But yeah, just down here somewhere there should be a bank. I can get some money out and pay my friends back at the cafe. Monsieur, y a-t-il une banque ici?
Sur le coin.
Ok.
À gauche.
Oui.
Et le ciel.
Okay. Merci. Merci. Okay, so I think we're on the right track. There's just a bank somewhere down here. Let's go out and find it. Wow, all this stuff to find as well. Very tempting just to do a runner, to be honest. You can just see all these shops as well. It's really a bustling, vibrant place here in Goutte. Just over here we do have a bank. We've got a Crédit Lyonnais over here. Let's hope they take Revolut. Alright, so we've got some money. Now let's head back to the cafe and pay up for that very nice coffee.
Oui.
Je paye pour un café, espresso.
C'est vous qui vous êtes payé 8 euros.
Je paye avec un 10 euros.
Oui.
Alors,
À table.
à table, oui.
Oui. S'il vous plaît. Ça
Merci
sera
beaucoup.
Vous. Asseyez-vous à table.
Oh, j'ai déjà commandé le.
Ah oui, mais je vous fais le café. Vous avez déjà bu le café?
Oui. Mais j'ai dû
oui,
prendre
merci,
de l'argent. Merci beaucoup. Merci. So there we go. What an interesting place. Yeah, really fascinating. I managed to sort out that fiasco with the money. So yeah, now let's head out to the Muslim Cultural Centre, see if we can have a look around. Okay, so by the looks of it, there's another prayer going on in the Islamic Cultural Centre at the moment, so we've got a bit of time to kill before we have a look around. So I just thought let's get some more sort of African culture. And there's a really nice place over here that I can check out. This is the Safari Restaurant, Spécialité Somalienne, so Somalian food. So let's go inside and see if we can film first of all. Deal, merci. Merci. So I've just been very kindly allowed to film some stuff in here. I'm just going to order some food at this place.
Are you English?
Again. Yes, yeah. Where are you from?
London.
Oh, nice, nice. What are you doing here?
Friend's wedding.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Whereabouts in London are you from?
North London.
North London. Nice. You like it here?
Huh?
Do you like it here?
I just came here right now.
Really, yeah. Okay. Just a little back through here as well. Oh wow. Très joli. Ok.
Safari, hein?
Et pour commander, c'est sur le app ou Comment quelque chose?
Ça?
Ça.
Ça?
Très bien, merci.
Oui, c'est pas grave, c'est avant ça. J'ai pas besoin ça, c'est l'autre personne peut-être. Ça c'est Archel.
Okay. Okay, so the guy was just very keen that I showed you guys back here. This is the kind of luxury part of the restaurant, I guess. And this is quite funny. They have some like QR codes here, and I was saying to him like, "Oh, do I scan the QR code here?" And he was like, "Oh no, this is from like a different restaurant that I bought these tables from, and yeah, like they won't go anywhere if you order anything from them." So yeah, he's just not been able to take them off because they're kind of stuck on. But yeah, I'm gonna go to the bar, try and order something. I've never had Somalian food before, so I really have no idea what to order, but we'll see. Okay. Okay, so I've just ordered some authentic, traditional Somali foods here in this restaurant. Gonna see what comes of it. Looks like the masjid is still closed. There are a bunch of people just waiting outside. Alright, so it's really interesting here. This is a big thing that I forgot they do in like Somali culture. So they give me a glass of water here, bottle of water with a little cup, some cutlery, and they've also given me a banana, and that's because banana is like a really big part of Somali like diet, and you just have a banana with your meal as a kind of source of carbs. So yeah, presumably I'm meant to wait until the rest of the food comes, but yeah, very interesting. You can really tell that my whole knowledge of Somalia just comes from Trubinsky. Oh, merci. Et le banane, je mange après.
Banana. Boutillier.
Okay, thank you. Yes, merci. So, like I cut it.
Yeah. Obni here.
Okay, merci.
Banana comme ça.
Oui.
Comme ça.
Ah, j'ai compris. Merci.
T'as compris? Voilà. Après.
Oui. Okay. Merci. Right, so I've just been given some rice with some banana here in this very interesting restaurant, and I think you just kind of chuck it on top like so.
This is.
Yes.
Bimo.
Okay. On the rice. Okay, merci. And then chuck a bit of this on as well. That's right? Okay. So don't put so much on. Wow, this is a real enriching experience. So just to show you guys what I've got. Also, I've got the rice over here with the banana and stuff, and I've also got this little fish, which is quite curious. You know, just a full. I love it when you have like a full fish. You know, they haven't skinned it, they haven't taken off the bones or anything like that. It's just full experience. So how is life here?
Life is good. I'm working here.
Yeah.
It's a very restaurant.
Okay.
Specialist Somali here.
Okay, nice.
Yes,
nice.
very restaurant. Welcome.
Oh, merci, thank you.
Enjoy your meal.
Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah. See, it's funny. Like I said, like everyone said, talks about like Goutte. Everyone said it was always a bit dodgy. You know, you got to be careful. But people seem very friendly. You know, very open. Obviously, a few times people haven't wanted to be filmed, but when they do want to be filmed, they're just delightful. So yeah. So just in front of me over here, I can just see that the Salah has just finished, the prayer, and you can just see all these people just come out of the mosque. This huge line of just people. Bonjour. All these people just walking down from the prayer that's just finished, which means that the mosque should be open. So hopefully we'll be able to have a look inside and see what it's like. I'm not gonna lie though, having a banana with rice, what an amazing idea. It really works. I was kind of skeptical when this guy just handed me a banana with my meal. I thought, okay, a bit strange, but yeah, the flavours really work. Oh, what a lovely interaction I just had there. This guy just came up to me, this random guy. He just says to me like, "Oh, I wanted to wish you like bon appetit." Yeah, really, like the Gouche are good people. So now we're just crossing over the bridge here to the other side of La Goutte, and we're gonna sort of see what this side is like. Maybe chat to some of the locals. So here we go. This is the other side of La Goutte. As you can see, really quite interesting. A lot more African shops and stuff like that. So let's take a look, see how this side is different. Here we've got an African food shop. It's quite interesting. Got some fruits outside and cafe for €1. Let's see if we can buy a cafe. Wow, it's cool to see all the drinks we can get here as well. Let's have a look down here. Very interesting array of different stuff. Puis-je acheter un café? Merci. Comment ça va le vie dans ce quartier? C'est bon? Très bien. Merci. Et je vous paye avec cash? Right. Well, I just bought another espresso here in this little shop. Looked too interesting not to do. Just chuck a bit of sugar in. It's my third coffee of the day, so I'm going to be jumping off the walls by the end of this video. Bonjour. What's the news going on today? Pope's just died. Ukraine. Oh, bonjour. So there's this really big thing in France at the moment of people selling cigarettes on the streets. I don't know quite what's going on, like why they're doing it, why it's so popular to do, but a lot of people, don't worry, yeah, a lot of people are trying to sort of peddle cheap cigarettes for tourists and stuff.
For tourists?
Oh, tourists as well. Oh, how are you finding it here?
Just arrived. So
just arrived, so okay. Interesting. This is the most Islamic place in Paris.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Have a nice trip. Take care. There you go, some tourists. They've arrived in La Goutte. Not sure if La Goutte is what they're expecting for Paris, but yeah.
Ouais.
Ça
Des cailloux ou...
ici?
Ouais, 3,90 s'il vous plaît.
Okay, well, I've just walked in another absolute gold mine of a place here in Paris. It's kind of similar to the place I've been to before. Just a lot of sort of gambling stuff over here, as you can see, and also you've just got a little bar around here where people can buy a drink, and then over here you just got again some gambling stuff, and then a place to buy some cigarettes as well. I've only come here for the loot, but it seemed a shame not to get a drink as well, so I'm going to just sit outside. You see you've got a lovely outside area as well. Sit down here. So overall, I'd say so far, the sort of Islamic places that we've seen in France they don't actually feel that Islamic. Like there's not much presence of the Islamic culture. Obviously it's a lot of African culture, a lot of Middle Eastern culture, but I don't know, there's not so many like Islamic bookstores or kind of there aren't that many mosques. There are a few that we're going to try and have a look at after this, but not so much compared to like Savile Town in the UK, where you know everywhere is just filled with you know, Islamic bookstores and Islamic mosques and stuff. Here there's lots of cultural places, lots of, you know, Somalian restaurants, lots of yeah, just Middle Eastern foods and stuff like that, Middle Eastern restaurants, but nothing ostensibly Islamic. Do a few people kind of wearing Islamic clothes here and there, but it seems more like the country than like the religion itself. Okay, well, his toilets here in this little place in Paris are quite weird. First of all, it's literally like locked in, like it's a prison. You've got to ask the guys to open it for you. And you come down here. I mean, fucking hell! Just look at it to begin with. It looks a bit weird. And then, obviously, you've got the urinals here. But if you want to take a shit, you've got to mette une piste en euro. You've got to pay, which is fucking ridiculous. I don't think I have one. I'll happily pay €1, but I don't think I've got one. I've never known this to happen before. Ah, yes, perfect. Right. Let's see if it works. No, you're fucking kidding me. Okay, so I think I've seen pretty much all we're going to see here in Goutte, but before we leave, there are a couple of mosques that I'm going to try and check out, because like I say, I don't feel like we've actually seen that much really sort of Islamic culture yet, so I'm going to go have a look inside, maybe hopefully show you guys around as well, so you get a bit of the sort of spiritual life of this, you know, very multicultural parts of France. And yeah, let's go. Pardon, bonjour. Le mosquée est fermé aujourd'hui? Hein? Le mosquée, c'est fermé?
C'est fermé.
Non, c'est quoi?
Il va ouvrir l'heure de la prière.
Ah, ok, pour la prière. Ah, je comprends. Ah, maintenant, non. Ok. Merci. So there's just the mosque over here, which is shut, but it's meant to be open for the prayer later on. There's some quite interesting things over here. You can just see there's a sign up here that says praying in front of the mosque is prohibited. Obviously, you know, France is very proudly secular. That's a big part of France, is it doesn't really want kind of you know, religious expression to be too big a part of people's public life. Quoi? Vous n'êtes pas dans le film? Vous n'êtes pas? So yeah, there's sort of things to make sure that people are sort of, if they are practicing religion, it's specifically in the mosque, not outside. And over here we've got a Islamic shop. So let's go and check it out, see if we're allowed inside. Bonjour. Ça va la caméra ici? Merci, merci. So I'll just show you inside this little Islamic shop. Again, very like the ones we saw in Savile Town and you find all over London and stuff like that. We've got some oud, you know, sort of fragrances. Again, some sort of clothes. Sort of various hats that you wear. It's a big part of Islam. Different hats to wear. And some, you know, books in French about Islam. One of the commentaries about the Quran. Little prayer book for That one's for boys, this one's for girls. And again, you see some more sort of Islamic clothes and stuff like that. Some various hats you can wear, and some different prayer beads and stuff like that. Interesting. Comment ça va la vie dans ce quartier?
Ça va?
Ça va?
Ouais, ça va. Ouais.
Vous êtes habité ici beaucoup de temps?
Ouais.
Ah ouais, c'est très intéressant pour moi. Merci, au revoir. Merci, merci. So there we go, that was the Islamic shop just behind me. Very friendly guy. Yeah, and just some interesting Islamic stuff that's very important in the religion. Well, this really is quite an interesting part of France that we're in. It's absolutely fascinating being here. Yeah, just so much going on. A lot of chaos. Yeah, it is quite fascinating coming here. Well, I've just been let inside another sort of Islamic shop here. Got lots more cool stuff, like some various sort of fragrances, air freshener and stuff like that. They've actually got some incense somewhere, so there's kind of nice smell in the room. And again, some various, traditional Islamic garments. You can see over here, some different stuff to wear to the masjid. There's the incense over here. Comment ça va la vie ici? C'est bon?
Ouais, c'est bon, c'est calme, c'est
fantastique.
tranquille quoi, c'est pépère.
Moi j'aime, c'est très intéressant.
Ah ouais, c'est très bien, ici c'est vrai que voilà. C'est bien situé, voilà quoi, c'est cool, very good, very good.
Very good. Merci beaucoup.
Okay, merci.
Au revoir. So you can see people really have good things to say about this community here. Everyone seems to like it. It's calm, it's peaceful, and on the whole, like people are. There seems to be from what people are saying, it's good harmony between different religious communities. Obviously, it's mainly Muslims here, but there are some churches as well, and it seems like the relationship between the Christians and the Muslims are, on the whole, pretty good. Over here, you see we've got another shop called Al Huda. Let's see what Al Huda is like. We're allowed to film. It's empty. Not anyone in here. It smells quite strongly of some kind of curry or something, some kind of spices that's being cooked. Again, very like the other ones we've seen so far. Even more sort of Islamic garments around here, and I think these are some I don't know what this is, some kind of Islamic calendar maybe. Bonjour monsieur.
Oui.
Ça va?
Ça va, alhamdoulilah.
Alhamdoulilah. Je fais une vidéo de ce quartier. Ça va que je peux filmer votre magasin? Oh, merci. And again, some material in Arabic, by the looks of things, presumably about Islamic culture, education, stuff like that. Big part of Islam is these kind of prayer beads, which are meant to sort of strengthen your connection to God. Obviously, you do have them in some forms of Christianity as well, like you have the rosary in Catholicism, and I think sometimes in the Eastern Orthodox as well. And you go some more different stuff you can buy here. Very interesting. Right, let's head out. Keep wandering along this really fascinating road. I've really struck upon something quite interesting here. Wow. Look at all this stuff going on here. Wow, I didn't even realise that there was all this stuff that we still hadn't seen yet. It's just really packed. So many shops, so many people. So let's keep wandering around and have a look. Bonjour. Wow, okay, this is quite difficult to film here. I just got accosted by an old woman who thought I was filming her. I was actually filming myself, and I kept saying to her, no, the camera's on me. But she just grabbed me and she was like, oh, don't film me. I was like, I wasn't. So yeah, the babushkas here are really, yeah, gotta be careful. But luckily I think I charmed her over in the end, so it's all good. But yeah, you gotta be careful here, you know, you gotta be careful with what you film. Don't take the piss, that's one thing that I think you gotta bear in mind. You know, I'm in kind of a different cultural place here, and yeah, you have to be careful. Right, okay, let's get out of here. Okay, well, let's get out of this station and I'll tell you guys what happened after the last thing that you guys saw. Okay, well, just come out here. This is Saint-Michel, and I think the Notre-Dame Cathedral is somewhere nearby, so we might go check that out. But yeah, so I just finished wandering around that bit of Goutte, and yeah, I turned down like this road that was really busy, lots of cool stuff, and I was kind of wandering around with my camera, and then suddenly like this guy came up to me and it was like, oh, can you not film me please? And I thought, oh, for fuck's sake, you know, and like I got him in like one small clip, and so I tried to explain like, look, I'm not filming you, I'm just kind of filming the area, but he still wasn't very happy with it. And he was like, I want to delete that video. And then, like, another person came up to me and was like, oh, delete that video. And before I knew it, I had like a whole swarm of people like coming around me, like shouting at me, like getting quite aggressive and like telling me to delete all the footage. And I deleted it. It was a really cool video, but I just deleted it, tried to make them happy. But still they were like, oh, no. And then in the end, I just sort of, yeah, actually this guy kind of stepped in and he was like, look, he's deleted the footage, just leave him alone kind of thing. Which I thought was quite nice of him, but then he shoved me out the way to be like, look, just get out of here. So yeah, I had to kind of get out of the area before something else happened, because I just thought like, yeah, this is a bit of a volatile area and clearly people are a bit pissed off. So I thought I'd take the out that I had, but yeah, it was a real shame because like, apart from that one incident, like people were being pretty friendly and whatever, you know. And look, I get it, right? I get that, you know, you don't necessarily want to be filmed. They might have reasons for not being filmed that I don't know about. Yeah, that's my little trip around Goutte. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to go back again in the future, but yeah, it's very interesting. If you go, maybe don't film it. Maybe people don't really like being filmed there, but yeah. So since there's nothing more that I can really film in the Goutte without getting into trouble, I thought I might as well just come out to sort of the centre of Paris over here and show you guys the Notre-Dame Cathedral, because it's quite nearby to where we are. You know, given that this video is becoming a bit of a religious episode, you know, we're seeing kind of the Islamic culture here, let's just sort of round it off by seeing the sort of Christian culture of France. Yeah, so let's go have a look. Oh, there you go, behind me you can just see the magnificent Notre-Dame Cathedral, and by the sounds of it they're playing some Catholic worship music in the background. Not quite sure what's going on. Obviously this building had quite a serious fire happened to it a couple of years ago. can see it's pretty much repaired, but there's still bits of construction going on just at the back. And yeah, it's really quite, I've never been here before, but it's quite exciting to kind of be here and sort of admire the, you know, historical significance that this building has had for, you know, sort of French religious and cultural identity for, you know, hundreds of years. There it is. Especially at a time where, at the time of recording, Pope Francis has died about a week ago. So, you know, quite a significant time for the Catholic faith at large, you know, and the Christian world at large, you know, who's going to sort of replace Pope Francis, where are they going to take the, you know, the future of the Catholic Church. Yeah, very interesting. So I've just done a bit of reading over there about what this whole service is about, because it's not a Sunday today, it's a Friday actually. So it's not like a Sunday service, but by the looks of things, this is some kind of service in memory of Pope Francis, who's obviously died quite recently. So yeah, but it's quite exciting being here, like quite powerful. You see just loads of people. There's a massive queue going into the church over there. And then obviously I'm just sitting on these kind of benches over here, like it's a festival or something. Yeah, it's quite nice. Okay, well, I'll just come out to this little bistro here in just outside the Notre-Dame Cathedral. I've just got some wine, very nice, and yeah, just enjoying the evening here in Paris. Very beautiful view. Just watching the world go by and sort of digesting the events of the day. But yeah, so this is pretty much where I'll leave it, guys. But thanks for watching. Hope you found this one interesting. It's certainly very exciting to do it. And yeah, take care. See you guys very soon.